A live nativity scene, Christmas trees, quilts. It was all part of Christmas in Kalona, and I take you there on this episode. And this episode is brought to you by Griner Auto Body of Washington, Iowa, using state-of-the-art techniques and decades of experience to get your car back on the road after an accident. Car Doctor of Washington, Iowa. No matter who Frankensteined it, they can fix and clean and customize it. McDonald Boneyard of Keota, Iowa, for all of your farm equipment and auto recycling needs. Hinshaw Trailer Sales of Richland, Iowa. You need a trailer, they've got your trailer, and they fix what they sell and don't in their full-time repair shop. Girling Repair of Winfield, Iowa. If your mower is dead, call Fred, your Husqvarna, Aaron's, and Gravely dealer, and he fixes snowblowers. B&B Propane and the family of Jet Stops present Southeast Iowa Today. I'm John Bain, author of Christie's Journey, The Beat Goes On, and your host. On this episode, we take you to Kalona. Here we go.
Charlie. Come on. Let's go find Mom. And TT. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Being blessed by a 2-year-old.
Yes, of course. That's what happens, Grandma. Merry Christmas. Yes. I'm making sure you guys do.
Yeah. Yeah. All done. Everything's processed.
Okay, we're now inside the Kalona Historical Village Museum, and it's time for the Christmas tree walk. Just beautiful trees here today. And they only have one request when you come through. After you look at all the trees, you vote for the one you like the most. And that's going to be a hard decision, folks. They're just wonderfully decorated. Look at that one. It's going to be hard to vote for one tree, and I'm not going to tell you the one that I'm leaning towards either. And now we are in the quilt room, and this is the English Quilt Gallery. Is it correct?
Yes.
And Nancy, tell us about all this.
Well, this is probably to the top 10 of my favorite displays. These are blue and whites.
So original indigo blue dyed quilts, and they date about 1860 to 1890s.
Wow.
And they are phenomenal.
It's just incredible. I mean,
yeah.
they're in
So-
such spectacular shape.
Last year we did a red and green exhibit, so this year we had to shake it up and do something else. So
Yeah.
the trees in here are all decorated blue and white. Yeah, to me, I don't know. I love this room.
It's
Love
wonderful.
this exhibit.
It's really got a warm feeling. It's warm in here, and it has
Yes,
a warm feeling with the colors and the displays.
yes.
So, so obviously with like a somewhat modern sewing machine, it'd be 1900s probably for that era there.
Yeah, if anything, you would have still, they would have still had treadles. So we have an example of a treadle sewing machine over there.
Okay, so would that be 1800s then?
Yep, so some ladies would have still used, I think that one is physically dated 1914.
Okay.
So your late 1800s, they would have started coming out with treadles, but
Gotcha.
majority of the quilts would have all been hand pieced and hand quilted.
That's incredible. It's just
Now the
spectacular.
quilt behind this big tree display, that actually belongs to one of the gals that works here, and her sister made that quilt back in, I do believe it was back in high school. I'm gonna grab the script. Yeah, she made that when she was back in high school. And it's called a blooming 9-patch, and so it's not as old as the others. I'm gonna say it's 1990s ish or something, but
and she did this all by hand.
Yes, and it's just so beautiful, and it just ties perfectly in with kind of the snowy look that we're trying to get in this exhibit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we've had a lot of compliments on that.
How long did it take her to make that?
I don't know. I just know that Heather recalls when she was making this by hand that she used to read to her. She said she'd read to her as she was hand quilting this quilt.
Oh, wow.
And I think that she said that she...
That's like the first audiobooks.
Yeah, exactly. And I think she said that she got an award for the quilt, but...
Well, she should. Yeah.
So far, all the people that have come in here are just like, oh my God, that thing is so beautiful. Well, probably just because it just, I don't know, it just is
It draws you into the
blend,
center.
and it's just kind of a white, snowy look in the middle.
Yeah, it
So-
kind of just pulls you to the center when you look at it.
Yeah, so she would, because when we were trying to do the beginning planning of this room, she's like, ooh, I have this blue and white quilt my sister made. I'm like, bring it in, because she's so excited and so passionate about the quilt. And I'm like, bring it in. And then when you go out into the other room with the other trees, there's a trip around the world in there in kind of reds and greens and stuff. And her other sister made that quilt. So that one's a really pretty one as you walk into that other room.
Well, we'll have to check that out.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, let's wrap up this segment.
Okay.
And we'll go on into what'd you call that room? The room around the world, or?
A trip around the world is what the other quilt is.
Okay, we'll go check it out. I needed a break in between two interview segments, and I thought this would be a good time to thank you for watching the podcast. If you're watching on Spotify, please follow us there. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on a thing. Now, back to the program. So, Nancy, you are in front of a huge quilt here.
So this is an employee's quilt that she wanted to, asked if she could display, and her sister made it. And I said, sure, because it's got the red and green greens in it that we could hang for the holidays. So this is a trip around the world pattern, and it's just a really pretty draw. So you kind of, when you walk in the front door, your eyes just kind of come, it just kind of pulls you into this room.
It sure does.
So when she asked if we could hang it, I said, absolutely.
That's incredible. I mean, what talent these ladies have that do these quilts.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be sexist. There might be men that do quilts too.
There's several guys out there that are quilters, hand quilters to boot, not just machine quilters. So, and that's all they do. So yes, there are men out there. Maybe that's something that you can learn how to do.
I don't. Yeah, maybe.
I don't even know how to do this. Maybe we can learn together.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I could just see me hanging out try to quilt. I'd be too distracting.
You could go to women's sewing. You
Yeah.
get along with everybody. And you could learn how to sew with all of the
They'd
local
probably
ladies.
kick me out in about 15 minutes.
No, they would love it. They would love it.
Well, I might try that sometime. I might have to do a podcast on that.
You could.
That would be fun.
You could.
Well, we'll talk about that. Show me into this other room
Yes,
then.
yes.
Okay.
So this is our Amish quilt gallery.
Okay.
And to me, I still have a total love of the Amish colors and styles.
Yes.
And to me, it's really hard to choose a favorite one in this room. So this room only has Amish quilts in it. And then we have kind of a display that talks about the local Kalona Amish and a little bit about their way of life and their history. And then one fun thing is this buggy. This is an authentic local Kalona Amish buggy that we acquired. We probably got it at least 8 years ago. It was in here and then it got moved out into our buggy shop, and then recently we had a new buggy donated that we put into the buggy shop and brought this back into the gallery. But I think it makes a really neat statement.
Yeah.
And people can get in it if they want to, and feel, sit in it and see what it feels like to be in that. Personally, I get motion sickness when I, am the passenger of a car. I cannot even fathom what it's like to ride down the road in a buggy like this.
Right.
I think that, yeah. So no, we just recently changed out the room to make it so the buggy could fit in here, and I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people that come and visit the Kelowna area and the museum that really don't understand what the Amish are what they're like at all, and so I think the buggy makes it really fun for them.
Yeah. And I look at this thing and it looks like it's a 2-seater.
It is.
So I mean, this is more of a. This isn't your family buggy.
No, this is not a station wagon.
Right.
So the station wagons will have the 2 seats front, right
back.
behind each other.
Yeah.
So this is just a single seater that, like 2 people. Well, you'd be surprised. They can get a lot of.
You could probably stick a couple youngins in the middle.
I would say you could probably get a half a dozen if you had little kids, because
Yeah.
it's amazing where they sit on legs and feet and all of that stuff. So, but yeah, I think that's fun.
And first thing I thought of when I looked at the quilts and you said they were Amish quilts is the color in them.
Colors are all dark. That is an Amish tradition. It's not saying that the Amish don't use white or really light colors, but it's not as common. The dark is just a part of their tradition.
Right.
And so I think that that's what makes them more unique and more, I don't know, I like to say mysterious.
Yeah, that's a good word.
But when you say, the quilt's brown, but look at the blend of that brown quilt.
Yeah.
Look at the different things that they can pull in there that pop. Now, if you look behind you, so hand behind you, so this denim blue quilt was recently donated, and during Fall Festival, we had a gal that came up and said, "Where did you get that quilt?" And I think it was her grandmother or her great-grandmother made that quilt.
Really?
And I said, well, it was for sale at the Kelowna Quilt Show, and one of our donors bought it and donated it to us. So I think it dates 1895.
Wow.
And then the funny thing is then it was so then I have this book. Well, it was written, there was a write-up in this book about it.
Oh, very nice.
So
it's
under this page here.
Okay.
And so that, to me, that makes it even neater yet.
Oh,
that it was a quilt that was published.
Yes. That is amazing.
So yeah, 1895, and I mean, it looks like it's practically a brand new quilt, and that is a big thing with a lot of the quilts that we have here, is they look like they're brand new because they're in pristine condition.
Yeah,
so,
very much so. It's incredible.
A lot of times, you get a gift, a quilt is a gift, and I know I have, and you put it away because you don't want it to get ruined.
Exactly. People take better care of something like that.
Yep.
There's so much effort and
Yeah.
I would say love that goes into making these, putting these together.
But I love the Amish room. I love, you know,
Yeah.
that story that it tells, and it gives a more inside look of what the Amish are like.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Well, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Do you have your Christmas shopping done?
No. See my sweatshirt? I am the Christmas Grinch.
Ah, yeah.
I'm not a big shopper.
Okay. So you just you when it comes time, you know it's time, and you do whatever it takes.
So I told all my kids, I said, tell me what you want for some stocking stuffers, and then they're going to get money, because it seems like they all have things that they want to buy that maybe are bigger that I wouldn't buy as a general gift
Right.
and stuff. But
Okay.
I tell people I grew up in the retail world.
Yeah.
We worked at the business when we were kids growing up. We were the last ones there working Christmas Eve. And then the day after Christmas is when we always did inventory. And so there was no winter break or Christmas break for us, because we were working the whole time. So
Right.
we inventoried the whole store, we cleaned the whole store, and then it was time to go back to school. So I don't know, that's the Grinch in me, is being in that retail world. But I do have a wonderful coworker, Heather, and she is all about Christmas.
Nice.
So she tries to keep my spirits going. So.
Well, good. Well,
But I do love being able to do the displays like we did here, and
Yeah.
have the Christmas tree walk and stuff.
I think
So
just walking in the door, you get
Yeah.
into the Christmas spirit right away.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so she's already in the Christmas spirit, folks. Well, Nancy, it was a pleasure to have
Thank
you
you.
on once again. I want to ask, is there something I should have asked about the Kelowna Historical Village Museum that I...
Well, we did open a brand new museum up in August, which you would have been at the grand opening of
Yes.
that. And we just on Wednesday received a very large grant from the Riverboat Foundation.
Oh, congratulations.
That we are going to start a new project on our train depot. And so
Oh, that's wonderful
So hopefully
news.
by maybe, I don't want to say until we really, but maybe by Fall Festival of 2024, we'll have the
Well, then
depot project done.
I'll be there for that.
So that's exciting. That was my Christmas present. I thrilled with that.
That is huge. I know at the Wall Museum
Yeah.
opening presentation, it
Yeah.
was talked about, and it sounds like a dream coming true.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and
Thanks,
Merry
John.
Christmas.
You too.
Thanks to Nancy Roth for being a guest today, and I want to thank our sponsors: Griner Auto Body, Car Doctor, McDonald Boneyard, Hinshaw Trailer Sales, Girling Repair, B&B Propane, and the family of Jet Stops. I'm your host, John Bain. Stay friendly, Southeast Iowa, and Merry Christmas.